If you are the type of person where the reason you're having trouble gaining weight is because you have a very, very small appetite and you just don't like to eat a lot, then ideally you would want to opt in for higher fat cuts of meat. So things like ribeye steak, you'd want to incorporate a lot more things like butter. You can Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in and welcome back to another Sunday Q&A. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and today's question comes from the World Carnivore Tribe group on Facebook, where a member had recently asked, any advice or tips trying to gain weight? Well, when it comes to gaining weight, you need to be in a caloric surplus. There's absolutely no way around that. And basically, there's 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat, roughly. So if you are trying to gain weight, you would want to be in a caloric surplus. And for every 3,500 calories that you are in a surplus, you're going to gain roughly 1 pound. And depending on what exactly you want to accomplish, it's going to dictate how big of a surplus you want to be in. If you are trying to gain weight without gaining too much fat, then you would want to minimize the surplus so that you gain it very slow and steadily. Whereas if you're not really concerned with gaining fat along with gaining muscle, then you can go for a higher surplus. But basically, what you can do to determine how many calories you need, this is just going to be a rough guideline. You want to go ahead and adjust it accordingly based off of how your body responds. But if you are a very sedentary individual, take your body weight, multiply it by 16 to 18, and that's how many calories you need. And that's your body weight in pounds. So if you are a 100-pound individual, 100 times 16 to 18 is 1,600 to 1,800 calories. And then if you're a moderately active individual, multiply your weight by 18 to 20, that's going to give you the amount of calories that you need. And again, that's your body weight in pounds. And then if you are a very active individual, then you want to go ahead, take your body weight, multiply it by 20 to 22 pounds. Those are just going to be rough estimates. So what you want to do from there is track your weight on a regular basis and see how much weight are you gaining. If you are trying to minimize the amount of fat that you are gaining with the amount of muscle that you are putting on, then you would want to opt in for a smaller surplus, and you wouldn't want to gain too much weight. Ideally, a quarter pound to half a pound a week would be ideal for you. And then if you're not really concerned with putting on fat with the muscle, then you could opt in for a larger surplus. So if you're gaining 1 pound of muscle or fat per week, then that should be a good goal if you are not really concerned with gaining fat. But go ahead and give those a try. Again, if you are a very, very sedentary individual, multiply it by 16 to 18. For moderately active, 18 to 20. And then for very active, 20 to 22. And then adjust it accordingly. But that's pretty much it in terms of how many calories you would need. And then in terms of the actual food that you are consuming, if you are the type of person where you are a very, very big eater and you are trying to minimize the amount of fat and just put on pure muscle, then ideally you would do better on leaner cuts of meat. So things like chicken breast, things like top sirloin steak, those would be preferable for you to add in. However, if you are the type of person where the reason you're having trouble gaining weight is because you have a very, very small appetite and you just don't like to eat a lot, then ideally you would want to opt in for higher fat cuts of meat. So things like ribeye steak, you'd want to incorporate a lot more things like butter. You could even try doing things like high-fat scrambled eggs. I'll include a plug right over here to a recipe video that I made. Very, very high calorie dense. So if you are trying to gain weight and you don't like to eat a lot of food, go ahead and give that recipe a try because it'll be a great way to pack on the calories. But go ahead, give that a try. And then if you have any questions at all with regard to anything that I said, go ahead and ask your questions down in the comment section so I can help you guys out. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I know to keep making these Q&A videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, as I will be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.